I truly believe that if you want to level up, get emotionally intelligent, and just become a more confident woman, you have to use your insane pattern recognition and study psychology and human behavior. Hi, Muses. Welcome back to my channel, where we talk about how women can have their cake and eat it too. I'm your host, Nayan, and I'm here to rebuild the village women once had so we can have the right conversations and create lives that feel as good as it looks. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. The older I get, the more I think being emotionally intelligent is a superpower. And I'm not talking about how in dating you want a guy who's emotionally intelligent, meaning he just understands and can process emotions. I'm talking about the type of emotional intelligence where you can read people fast, you can anticipate their incentives, you can control the frame, and you're always 3 moves ahead. You're strategically playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. People like Annalise Keating from How to Get Away with Murder, Harvey Specter in Suits, Olivia Pope in Scandal, or Frank Underwood in House of Cards. These people have to understand human behavior so well to do what they do and, quite frankly, get what they want. Psychology and human behavior itself isn't bad. It's just how you use it that changes the context. So if you use it for good, which I hope you do, a lot of what we talk about today can really help improve your social intelligence and just how to deal with people better. I've definitely noticed that it's helped me become less reactive because I understand motivations more and I can read better between the lines, so to speak. So here are a few psychology rules that completely change how I navigate relationships, work, and honestly, just existing around other humans. As always, we don't gatekeep, so let's step into it. Number 1, never make others feel threatened if your goal is to make friends and be likable. And this has nothing to do with your people-pleasing tendencies, okay? Whenever you are in a new, unfamiliar environment, the smartest thing you can do is to gather up some allies, make some new friends, and get some information. You're not going to be able to do that when you come in stepping on everyone else's toes. This first one hit me like a truck when I started working in tech. I was fresh and green out of college, and I treated the workplace exactly how I treated school: competitive. I wanted to be the top performer, the high achiever, to show everyone how smart and great I was, because I thought the higher-ups would be impressed and my coworkers would be impressed. Absolutely not. They all put their guards up around me. They stopped offering to help. They stopped wanting to work together. They became super cautious around me, and they started judging me from a distance. Okay, they'll be watching your every move like a hawk, almost like they're waiting for you to mess up. And since I showed everyone that I was so capable, I ended up with a lot of work on my plate. So I had to learn how to strategically pace what I reveal to people, especially when it comes to how much I know or how much I can do. And I always stay warm and friendly because that lowers people's defensiveness. And so they tend to talk more, and they share more information, and they offer to help. Of course, you can be brilliant, not saying to dumb yourself down. Just don't make other people feel stupid in the process. Number 2, strategic visibility. Knowing how to make people feel good, or how to let people shine, and how to lift people up to be the main character is a skill not a lot of people have, but probably one of the best social skills you can possess. I actually learned this from observing my Chinese business friends and watching how they navigate a lot of their business dinners. And I see this in my daily life too, but especially in relationships. We love a man who doesn't try to overshadow his girl, who is supportive, who lets her shine. But you know what makes her great? And I see this in my aunties who are happily married and well-loved, and my girlfriends who are in great relationships. These women know when to let their man shine. She knows when it comes to his holiday party, she takes a back seat, and that's his playing field. She knows when the guys get together and bring their wives and girlfriends. That's her man's time to be the main character. I have met some women who like to undermine or put down their boyfriends in public, and I've seen how that erodes relationships. Not everything is about you all the time, and you'll realize the same for friendships. The girls who are really well liked and have great friendships know when to put their girlfriends on. So sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to step back and let someone else have their moment. And you'll be so surprised how much goodwill this creates. Number 3, your. This one I definitely suffer the consequences of. My mom has always told me that it's really important who you're friends with, and even more important, who you date. But 20-year-old name did not give a flying F in the world. I just wanted to be friends with whoever I thought had my back, was cool, partied hard, and we had fun together. Okay, very bro attitude. And I'm sure a lot of you girls had that phase too. But you know what happens when you're really close to someone? Reputation is your currency. It's super easy to start ignoring some of the bad qualities about them, even though everyone else sees it. And because you are associated with them, you by default get treated like a unit. I had a girlfriend who was so fun to be around, is such a smart cookie that I met when I was in college. Go Bears! But every time we went out, she was a very, very messy drunk. This was circa 2010s, okay? When people actually went out clubbing and partying. So I would always invite her to come out with all my other friends. And I mean, most nights ended with a group always having to babysit her. And eventually, my other friends stopped inviting me out. And right when the pandemic started, I reconnected with that group of girls because everyone was just online at home, chatting with everyone else. And they told me it was because they didn't like being around her. And I get it, because eventually, I couldn't deal with how she couldn't handle her alcohol either. So, we stopped hanging out too. But the damage to my personal image and how my other friends thought of me was already done. Your reputation follows you everywhere, and I mean everywhere. So choose your associations wisely. Number 4, listening more than you speak. This is something I feel like I only really started to understand in the past 1 or 2 years. I've always heard people say, be a good listener. And since I'm pretty quiet and shy in person, being a good listener is all I've ever really known. Or so I thought. But that's not what this means. Being a good listener means you're hearing what people are saying between the lines. You're understanding the emotions behind what they're saying. You're responding to their actual desires. You're also taking this opportunity to really understand who they are as a person. I used to think all you needed to do was to sit there and agree along. But I always had nothing to say back, or I just wasn't interested in what they were saying. Until I realized it's about whether or not you want to get to know this person, or try to get to know this person by understanding why they care about what they're talking about. Like people who talk about work and the weather, they just want an in to start a conversation with you. People always tell on themselves, and the more they feel comfortable talking about themselves in front of you, the more they grow to trust you. And when you master this comprehension/listening skill, you'll be shocked at what people reveal to you. Their fears, their motivations, their plans, their deepest desires. Information is power, and listening is how you get it. Number 5, knowing when to pull back. I don't know if this just comes with experience, but you get to a certain age where you just don't overthink as much anymore, and you don't tolerate as much either, which means you have less of a threshold for dealing with other people's BS. And it's probably because our frontal lobes finally fully develop, or we've just been through so much that we could care less. But for me, it almost felt like a sudden realization that sometimes what you don't say is louder than what is said. If a friend is too much, you create some distance. If a man is being inconsistent or confusing, you pull back your attention. If work is undervaluing you, you set boundaries and balance out your work from home time to do house chores. You don't need to give them a long-winded explanation, and you don't need to prove to anyone that you're right. And you don't need to do all of these things just to get them to understand when they are committed to misunderstanding you. Sometimes all you need to do is to remove access to you. Your absence can be so much more powerful than your presence, so use it strategically. I hope that this episode was able to give you some insight into how understanding human psychology and behaviors can give you a leg up in life. And furthermore, understanding how your brain works helps you become more self-aware. And when you're more self-aware, you know exactly what you need to do to level up. And that's exactly what I did when I was working on getting more confident. So I hope that this will do it for you too. Because becoming a refined woman includes upgrading your mind. Yes, it is fun and all, but it's also for leverage. You learn how people work so you can move through rooms strategically, read energy faster, and make better decisions and love money and friendships. That's all the cake I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I appreciate it so much. And if you enjoyed our little chat today, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment to share your thoughts. And I'll see you in the next episode.